Want to welcome everybody to the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament. We're in the championship bracket side. Game number 13, the Bernie Mules taking on the host Bloomfield Wildcats. Bernie comes in seated number 1, Bloomfield number 8. I'm Bill Hampton. Beside me, the legend coach Jim Hall of the Dexter Bearcats, Advance Hornets. And on camera tonight is Kim Stokes. Coach, glad to have you join us.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here. Looking forward to a good game.
We've seen several blowouts in this tournament, and now we're getting to the championship side. And I think we're going to see a very up-tempo game tonight with the Mules and the Wildcats.
Well, I think so, too. I honestly haven't seen either team play, but I do know Bernie has a fine ball club coming back from last year. And I know Bloomfield is well coached. Dustin Hicks does a great job. When I was at Advance, we played them in the district tournament. He was at Van Buren, and he really does a nice job. And I know from last year, seeing Bloomfield play last year, they're very well coached, and so this ought to be a really good game.
Looking forward to it. Coach Hicks last night in the post-game show talked about they played Bernie 3 times last year, and they know that they're going to get them sooner or later if they just keep playing. And Bernie, on the other hand, Coach Botch, he did not know who he was going to play, but he was either South Pam or Bloomfield, whichever would win that game. He said, we're going to have our work cut out for us. We're going to have to play. We're going to have to shoot the ball much better. Bernie's really having trouble shooting the ball from the outside. And last night, they really didn't get a lot of practice. They about everything they made was inside the paint. So,
well, that's that type of game that they had yesterday is the only thing that's good for is if the bench gets to play very much, because it's really not a good game for the varsity players, the main players. It doesn't create a situation that puts you in a situation where that you have to be in to really compete against the good ball clubs in pressure situations. But I know in reading the paper, Bernie has not really been happy with their offense most of the season. He thinks that most of the time they've been playing pretty good defense, but he doesn't think their offense is as good as he anticipated it being. And I know Bloomfield is they're about 5-3 approximately, and they've played some good basketball.
Yes,
so this thing's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from getting started, and I'm ready.
Well, we want to take tonight's game brought to you by Three Rivers Community College, James R. Tweedy, attorney at law, taxes and more, First State Bank and Trust in Dexter, Roy Owens Construction, MFA Morsoy Seed, and First Community Bank in Bernie. Again, we want to thank those folks for making this game possible, and we're really looking forward to a great game. Officials for tonight's game going to be Rich Payne, Lee Jones, and Mark Mars.
As Buzz Carr would say, and most people are going to be watching this don't know who Buzz Carr is, but you do. As Buzz Carr would say, 3 of the finer officials in southeast Missouri. It didn't make any difference who they were.
That's right.
Didn't make any difference who they were. It was always 3 of the finer officials in southeast Missouri. I used to joke. I said it didn't make any difference if he was talking about Chern Williams and Bob Johnson. It was 3 of the finer officials in southeast Missouri.
I can still see him in my vision where the scorers table is now. That's where he generally sat when he called this tournament.
Oh, they had to put a table there always for him. They started getting more and more stations doing the games. KWOC for years and years and years and years was the only station that did the game, and they did every game in the tournament. And when other stations got to doing it and they started putting them up on the stage, Buzz wouldn't go up on the stage. He had to stay down there. Right. He made them put a table right down there by the where that water fountain is right now.
Well, we're about ready for the starting lineups. Stan Durham and Lonnie Hutchison, again, the scorers and the clock keeper in this tournament, have been doing it for many, many, many years. They do an excellent job. They've seen a lot of things happen. And Bloomfield will be the visiting team. They're going to be dressed in purple. Bernie Mules going to be dressed in home white. We'll give you the starting lineups as they're announced by Stan Durham. Dustin Hicks, coach, assisted by Jason Carnes and Nathan Connor. Number 11, Jacob McNeil. He is a 5'10 junior. Blake Harris, a 5'10 senior. Where's number 20? Number 21, Leighton Hensley, a 6'2 junior. And folks, he can jump out of the gym. Number 24, a 6-foot sophomore, Seth Hill. Number 40, a 5'10 senior, Corey Smith. Bernie Mules come into this game with one loss. Brad Botts, the head coach, Jason Long and Darren Shipman, the assistants. Starting at 5'9 junior, Jake Welch wears number 12. Number 22, Jake Owens, a 6-foot junior. Number 31, Zach Curry, a 6'2 senior. Number 42, a 6'5 junior, Jake Smith. And number 44, a 6'2 sophomore, number 44, Jordan McGowan. One senior, three juniors, and a sophomore, Jim.
They've got experience, yet they're still pretty young team. They've got the sophomore that played last year as a freshman. So they're a young team, but young with experience.
Young with experience. Two Stoddard County schools. Two Stoddard County schools tipping it up against each other here. Hensley and Smith will jump centers for their team. Lee Jones will toss the ball up. Sit back, folks. Enjoy this game. We expect a barn burner. Going to be Bruin and Bloomfield tonight. Hensley gets the tip, but he goes back, and McGowan will control. Gets the ball out to Curry for three. No good. Tipped up by Owens, and he's going to be fouled by Harris.
He got a good look right off the bat. Good shooter with a good look. Just didn't quite knock it down.
Jake Owens to the line to shoot two. 7:50 to go in the game. We've already got our first foul and our first point. Owens had a good game last night.
I remember him from last year. You know, he's a nice shooter.
He had 27 in last night's game.
Good fundamental free throw.
Connects on both. Bernie in a full court press. We got a turnover against Hensley of the Wildcats. Bernie's going to control under their basket. Gets the ball to Smith. Smith with a head fake. Ball to Curry. Passes to Welch. Welch going to work the baseline. Kicks it out to Owens. Owens for three. Scores it. Jake Owens, I don't know what it is about the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament and the Bloomfield Gym, but he likes it. He plays well.
Well, he's had two good looks and got one of them.
Bloomfield, first time in their front court. Smith misses a layup. Ball pulled down by the Mules. Owens for three, hits nothing. McGowan tried to save but couldn't get it back in. Bloomfield will take the ball at their defensive end with 7:22 to go in the first quarter. Bernie 5, Bloomfield yet to score. Hill with the ball, gets it to McNeil. Bernie will press the entire game. They'll come at you full court, three quarters, half court. Nice pass that time by Hensley over to Smith. That's Corey Smith, first bucket for Bloomfield, 5-2. Bernie quickly down the floor. Bloomfield in a man-to-man defense. McGowan working against Hensley, goes up, and Hensley is going to commit the foul. McGowan will go to the line to shoot two.
Bloomfield's a little bit disadvantaged size-wise inside, which I think might play a factor in the ball game before it's over. If Bernie looks to go inside well.
McGowan knocks the first one down. Second one long. Rebounded by Hensley. Harris has got the ball for the Wildcats. Gets it down in the corner to Hill. Hill tries to go to Smith, but the ball taken away by Curry. Curry quickly down the floor. Kicks it over in the corner to Owens. Owens for three, short. Rebounded, tipped around. Hill comes away with it with McGowan. Now Curry just inside the 3, puts it up, will not go, and the ball hit the wire, goes over to the Bloomfield Wildcats. 6-2, 6:29 to go in this first period of play.
You know, that's the only bad feature that I know of in this gymnasium, and it's been like that from day one. That wire there comes into play every once in a while, and sometimes critical situations.
All put up and no good. Smith with the rebound, and we've got a foul on Harris. It's going to be his second. Blake Harris, very important role, plays a very important role for the Wildcats. It's his second foul, team's third. Connor is going to come in for Harris. Jacob Connor, a 5'10 senior. Stevens into the game for Owens. Welch gets it to Curry. Curry down to Smith. Smith working inside, scores it. Jake Smith, Jim, has gotten much stronger. You can tell the way he works that inside.
He's a good-looking postman.
Oh, he is. Plays defense very well, handles himself well. McNeil's going to be called for steps. 8-2. Bernie on top. We've got timeout on the floor with the Mules on top of the Wildcats. 8-2 with 5:40 to go. We want to tell you this game tonight brought to you by James R. Tweedy, attorney at law, is located on the Courthouse Square in Bloomfield. Phone 568-4000. That's James R. Tweedy, attorney at law. What do you have for us, Jim?
Well, we played less than, or just over 2 minutes. Key to the game, Bloomfield's got 3 turnovers. Bernie has none. Bloomfield's 6 points behind, and turnovers are the difference right now. They've gone down and turned it over 3 times. They had one easy shot that they missed. Bernie is shot 4 threes, made one of them, but they've had the advantage on the offensive boards. I wasn't keeping rebounds. I should be doing that, but Bernie's got a couple of baskets off offensive board.
Well, Bloomfield needs to put a stop here. Bloomfield's gone to a 2-3 zone. Stevens with the ball. Tried to hit McGowan off his fingertips. Turnover. All the Mules are first. Coach, we used to, when I played and when I coached, we used to count every turnover as a point for the other team. Now, that was before the 3-point line. Maybe it's even a higher percentage now.
Well, it definitely is a factor in the game, big factor in the game.
Connor with the ball. Ball tipped out of bounds by McGowan of the Mules. Daniel Becking checking in for the Mules. He'll be going in for Quentin Stevens. Seth Hill with the ball, working against Curry. Gives it over to McNeil down in the corner to Hensley. To breaking Smith. Smith did save the ball. Hensley has it. He's going to drive. Puts it up. He's going to be fouled. McGowan going to be called for the foul. That's the first foul on McGowan and the Bernie team.
Bloomfield looks like to me they're playing about a half a step faster than what they should be. They've that sequence right there. They just about had two turnovers. They're playing just a little bit too fast, and they're not in complete control.
Derek Caldwell in for the Wildcats for Corey Smith. Caldwell came in last night and played some very valuable minutes. Every time he touched the ball, he made something happen. Hensley hits the second of the 2 free throws. Curry with a shot off the backboard will not go. Smith high for a rebound. Throws the ball out to McGowan. McGowan over to Welch. Welch back to McGowan. McGowan going to put up a 3. Will not go. We're going to have Smith over the back. Going to be his first foul. Bernie's second. Bernie on top of Bloomfield, 8-3 with 4:42 to go in this first period of play. McNeil to Connor. Connor back to McNeil. McNeil working against Curry. Gets it over to Hill. Hill has Welch on him. To Hensley. To McNeil. Back to Hensley. Hensley for three. No good. Rebound by Owens. Owens pushes the ball up the floor. Down in the corner to Curry. He shoots it. Will not go. Rebounded by Welch. He puts it up. Scores it. Good move by Jake Welch. His first two. 10-3. Mules on top. Welch with a steal. Puts it up. Scores it. That's where Welch comes into play so well. He can hide, and he is so quick. And he just made 4 points there in just a matter of 3 seconds.
That's hard to overcome. You know, Coach Hicks has called timeout, which is a good timeout. I thought the first timeout he had was a good timeout. He's got to get his kids settled down, and that whole sequence there, that last basket just occurred from inattention. Yeah, what's going on? Yep. They just gave up an easy basket. Yep. They just turn around and just sort of lackadaisically throw a little cross-court pass there, and he picks it off for a layup.
I want to tell you this game tonight brought to you by Taxes and More inside Wethington Tower at 200 North Prairie in Bloomfield. See Tanya M. Wethington for your taxes and bookkeeping. Phone 568-3833. That's Taxes and More in Bloomfield. McNeil with the ball, working against Owens. Ball tipped. Ball turned over by the Wildcats. That full court pressure is bothering the Wildcats. Just under 4 minutes to go in the opening period of play. Barney with the ball, working against the 2-3 zone. Over to Stevens. Stevens can shoot it from that three. Welch with the ball. He drives, gives it over to Stevens. Stevens thought about it, kicks it over to Owens. Owens winds up, will not go. Ball knocked out of bounds by Owens of the Mules. Bloomfield will control with 3:31 to go in this opening period of play. Connor to inbound. Caldwell with the ball. Gets it to Hill. We're going to have a blocking foul on Owens. His first, team's third. We're going to hear
a close call.
We're going to hear a lot of oohs and ahs in tonight.
That's a close call.
It was.
When you establish position with a guy that has his back to you, you have to give him room to take one full step. And I think he got the one full step, so that was really a close call.
Well, I'll tell you, it happened so fast. Curry in for Stevens for the Mules.
Bloomfield's up to five turnovers here in the first 4.5 minutes of the opening quarter, and you can't win a close ball game or a ball game against a good team with that many turnovers if it would continue.
Garrett Rice in for the Wildcats. Going out is Connor. Skip pass over to Curry. He's going to drive, gives the ball in to Becking for the Mules. He goes up with it, cannot get it to go. Rebound by Caldwell of the Wildcats. Becking takes the ball away, gets it to Welch. Welch puts it up, will not go, but he's going to be fouled. McNeil going to be called for the foul. Let's check it. McNeil's first, team's fourth. Welch to the line to shoot two.
Bloomfield is, in my opinion, is just not attacking the man-to-man press at all correctly. They keep getting the ball in the corner. They get it over on the sideline, and all you want to do against man-to-man pressure is get the ball in, clear out, and let a guy bring it down the center of the floor one-on-one, where you don't have the sideline as boundaries against you. The sidelines are just like defenders, and that doesn't look good.
Jake Smith has got a shoe off and looks like he may have twisted an ankle, headed to the locker room. Welch misses both free throws. Rebound that time by Rice, just into the game. Hill with a drive. He's going to be fouled by McGowan. It's going to be McGowan's second. What a strong power move that time along the baseline by the sophomore.
Move. He got the ball down the baseline, and then he was able to square up square his shoulders up to the goal, and as a result, he got the opportunity for a good shot and got fouled.
First shot up will not go. Quentin Stevens in for Jordan McGowan. (12-3). That score's been there for some time with 2:43 to go in the first period of play. Second one is good. Owens down to Curry. Skips it out to Welch. Stevens winds up for three. Scored. That young guy right there, Jim, is as good a pure shooter as you'll see. Of course, anybody gets hot, they're pure. But when he gets set, write it down.
Yeah, he's got a good stroke.
Yes, he does.
Shoots it real well.
Bernie up by 11, 15-4. McNeil with the ball. Stevens is on him. We're down to 2:05 to go into opening quarter of play here at the 52nd Bloomfield Christmas Tournament. In the winner's bracket, championship bracket. What a nice drive by McNeil. What a nice drive. He just kept going, went left-handed, right-handed. Pulls the Wildcats within 9. Stevens looking for someone to pass to. Gets it to Owens. Owens down to Curry. Curry out to Stevens. Back to Owens, down to Curry. Curry gets it to Stevens. He drives in, puts it up, scores it. Quentin Stevens with 5 in the quarter. Welch with another steal, couldn't get it to go. Rebounded by Smith, gets it to McNeil. We're down to 1:20 to go in this opening period of play. Hill with the ball. And we're going to have a charge foul. Seth Hill. A little out of control that time. His first foul, team's 5th. 17-6. Mules on top of the Wildcats by 11 with 1:10 to go in this opening period of play. 2-3 zone still set up. Stevens for a long three. It's short, but Welch with the rebound. How many rebounds does the little guy have? The ball taken back by the Wildcats. Ball passed down to Hensley, and Curry saves a layup, knocks the ball out of bounds with 55 seconds to go in the first period of play. Nice hustle by Zach Curry. Connor comes in for McNeil for the Wildcats. Hill will inbound for Bloomfield. Gets the ball to Rice. Rice over to Smith. Back out to Rice at the top of the key. Nice drive by Hensley. He scores it. That's what Leighton Hensley does best. When he penetrates and gets that quick step, he's quick. Welch inside, puts a left-hander up, will not go. Gets the ball back, gets it over to Curry. Curry's going to be called for steps. With 30 seconds to go in the opening period of play, it's 17-8. Bernie on top of Bloomfield.
Hensley's drive there, the good thing that he does is after he gets under the goal, he squares up to the basket. You know, if you're squared up to the basket, you're usually not out of control, and he gets a pretty good shot.
Turnover by Bloomfield. Stevens with it. 15 seconds to go. Curry drives, stops, puts it up, scores it. Scott Curry with his first basket. 19-8 with 6 seconds to go. Hill working against Owens. Puts it up, will not go. Ball batted around. Corey Smith has it as the horn goes off to end the first period of play. It's the Bernie Mules 19, the Bloomfield Wildcats 8. You're watching high school basketball on Y8C TV.
Three Rivers Community College is a great place.
A great place.
A great place to start college or career classes.
Three Rivers affordable tuition
Means Pell Grants go further.
I can use A+.
I got a scholarship.
To learn more, go to trcc.edu or call 877-TRY-TRCC.
Get started at TRCC.
Bernie MFA Agri-Service and Fertilizer has been providing top quality products and friendly service to customers and farmers since 1950. We offer seed and crop protection plus variable rate fertilizer applications and variable soil sampling. We strive to be your good neighbor and want to show you. Come by and see us. You'll be glad you did. Bernie MFA Agri-Service is proud to support high school athletics and the youth of our community. Contact us at area code 573-293-5311. Look for the giant MFA sign atop of our grain elevator in downtown Bernie.
The next time you need a metal building, call Roy Owens Construction at 276-3871. Roy Owens Construction has years of experience in metal buildings. Roy Owens Construction is located on Highway 25 North in Malden. Stop by their office today to make your plans for your next metal building. That is Roy Owens Construction Company in Malden.
We're here between quarters. Bernie ahead 19-8, and I think the two or three keys in the game. Number one is number 12 for Bernie. Welch has just been a whirlish derby out there. He's had a couple of steals for layups. He's got 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. You know, he's one of the shorter players on the floor, and he's really doing a great job. The second thing is that Bloomfield has 8 turnovers the first quarter, and that's just that's not acceptable. And Bloomfield is not. Bernie has attempted 9 threes. Bloomfield is playing a zone defense, and they're sort of like they're sagging back on their zone, like they're wanting to stop the big men inside. And they're giving Bernie some real good looks at threes. And Bernie's only made 2 of them, but they've had 9 good looks at threes. And they continue to do that. Bernie's going to get some threes on them. There's the 9th turnover. Ninth turnover.
Well, Bernie has 6 players already scoring in the game. Bloomfield has 4. Bernie's 3 for 6 from the line. Bloomfield 2 for 4. Bernie with 2 3-pointers. Bloomfield with 1. Stevens drives in, is going to be fouled, go to the line to shoot 2. Foul that time on Leighton Hensley, his second. Team 6, Bernie will be shooting 1 in bonus on the next foul by Bloomfield. Stevens first one up, scores it. He now has 6 in the game. Leads the Bernie scores. You're talking about Jake Welch. He is. We have commented often about him. He just aggravates you. If you've got the ball, he's gonna be looking for you.
Well, he's the kind of player that you can't stand unless he's on your team.
Harris put up a 3-pointer, did not go, but Hensley with the rebound and puts it back and going to be fouled. Hensley's 1 for 2 from the line. Foul is on Zach Curry, his first, team's 5th. Boy, Jake Smith is limping awful bad, folks. Boy, look at him. He hates that so bad. Gosh, these kids want to play, don't they? Hensley's first free throw goes in. He now has 4.
That's an impact on this ball game.
Oh, it will be. Second one scores it. Welch with the ball. 7:25 to go in this second period of play. Owens with the ball, gets it to Welch. Becking working the post. Stevens for 3 at the top of the key. Write it down. His second 3. He has 5 1/4, 10 in the game. 7 minutes to go in this second period of play. The 52nd Bloomfield Christmas Tournament. Hill with the ball, gets it over to Hensley. Down to Harris. Harris inside to McNeil. He loses control, but Smith gets it, puts it up, will not go. Rebounded by Curry of the Mules. Curry going to try to outrun everybody. He's going to be called for palming the ball. Turnover on the Mules with 6:46 to go. 24-10. Bernie up by 14.
Bloomfield is just completely out of sync. Their offense is the Bernie's pressure on defense is causing Bloomfield not to really run their offense real well. They're forcing some shots. They're having trouble against the full court pressure. Right now they're just not in sync, and they're going to have to. They've stayed within 14. Jake's about to get him another steal.
Yeah. He's going to get a foul now. Welch with his first foul, team 6th. Walker in for the Mules and back for Curry, and McGowan back into the game for Becking.
The positive thing you can say is that Bloomfield is still only 14 down. They're still in the ball game, and they haven't had anything go right for them. If they get things ironed out here, they can certainly make a game of it.
What a nice drive by Harris, but could not get it to go. Stevens with the rebound. Gets the ball down to Owens in the corner. Owens back to Stevens. Stevens puts up a long three. It's short, but gets his own rebound. It goes through his hands. Off his hands, out of bounds. 6:15 to go in the second period of play. It's Bernie 24. Bloomfield 10. Stevens out. Curry back in. Welch is going to be guarding Harris. Seth Hill with the ball, gets it over to McNeil. Bernie still in that man-to-man. McNeil working against Curry. Gets the ball into Hensley. Hensley tries to turn it around. Gets it to Smith. Smith from 12. In and out. Rebounded in there by Harris. Puts it up. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Smith. Puts it back and scores it.
Good effort on the boards there. That's what Bloomfield needs. That's something right there. Something right there that can turn them around, except you got to play a little defense at this end.
I tell you, Jake Owens, he can smell the bucket. Owens with his 7th point, 26-12. That was, nice play. Oh, what a nice assist by McNeil to Hensley. Set play. Turnover by the Mules. Hill with the ball. 26-14. 5 minutes to go. Then Welch almost takes it away from Hill. Ball's going to stay with Bloomfield. Becking in for Walker for the Mules. Caldwell in for Smith for Bloomfield.
Bloomfield ran a high back pick and on the weak side and got a lob for a layup.
That was pretty.
That's a set play.
Oh, yeah. Hill for three will not go. Hensley with the rebound. Gets it back to Hill. Hill driving. Stops, pops, will not go. Rebounded by Becking for the Mules. Welch has it. He shovels down the floor to Owens on the side. Owens is going to drive. He puts it up, scores it. Jake Owens with his 4th point of the quarter has 9 in the game. 4:25 to go in this second frame, 28-14. Bernie on top of 14. Harris down to Caldwell. Becking's going to be called for a slapping foul. Going to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 will be Derek Caldwell. He's yet to score tonight. Jacob Connor in for Seth Hill for the Wildcats. Caldwell's free throw scores it. He gets the bonus. Second shot, knocks it home. Got a good crowd for this game, Jim.
That's really starting to fill up.
Yep. Welch with the ball, gets it to Stevens, who's in for the Mules. Nice pass down to Becking. He's going to have the ball. He's going to be called for walking. McNeil still with the ball, gets it to Connor, back to McNeil. Bernie in a man-to-man. Hensley for three. Will not go. Ball rebounded to McNeil. McNeil with a turnaround off the glass. Will not go. We've got a foul, a push foul against the Bloomfield Wildcats.
I'll tell you, Bernie's man-to-man defense is not bad. They fundamentally do a nice job. Good effort. They keep pretty good position. They got guys in the passing lanes, and they're causing Bloomfield a lot of trouble running their offense.
Hensley picks up his 3rd foul, which Bloomfield did not need, and in for him is Cody Redcloud. McGowan to the line for a 1-and-1. In and out. Curry with a rebound.
Failure to block out. Didn't block out and sustain the block out. Give Bernie another chance.
Stevens from the corner will not go. Curry with a rebound, and we're going to have a foul. Foul is going to be on Curry, his second. (28-16) with 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this first half of play. Mules on top of the Wildcats. Jacob McNeil to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. He has 2 points in the game. Has not been to the free throw line as of yet. Free throw a little bit long. Now we're going to have a foul on Derek Caldwell, his first.
Bloomfield's having their opportunities. They're hanging around. You know, they missed the front end of 1-and-1 there. They missed an opportunity last time down. They could have the game down to 8 points as bad as things have gone against them.
Quentin Stevens out for the Mules. Welch back in. Becking the line to shoot a 1-and-1. He's not scored yet tonight. Free throw up. Scores it. Jim, I want to say one thing about Daniel Becking. We watched him play last year, and his work ethic is second to none. He works hard at trying to do the right things. Welch with the rebound. McGowan for three. Will not go. Rebound tipped out. Harris comes away with it. Harris one-on-one on a fast break against McGowan. Will not go. Ball tipped around out of bounds off Bloomfield.
Another missed opportunity.
Yes. We'll go over to the Mules. 3 minutes exactly to go in this second quarter. 29-16. Mules on top by 13. Connor extends the defense a little bit for the Wildcats. Becking has it, kicks it over to Owens. Owens for three. Will not go. Welch with the rebound. Gets it to McGowan, puts it up, scores it.
That's a great play by Welch. He got the rebound. Excellent assist. See, they're taking the ball to the sideline. Here's where it needs to be, one-on-one, down the middle.
You bet. Gives you both ways you can go, left or right.
That sideline's one of the better defenders in the house, you know.
Harris with the ball. Gets it to Connor. Connor with it he's going to be fouled by Owens. Jake Owens picks up his second foul. To the line to shoot a 1-and-1 will be Jacob Connor. Connor, a 5'10 senior. Has not scored tonight. Becking out, Walker in for the Mules. Free throw, scores his first. Gets the roll. 31-17. Bloomfield needs to make a run here before half.
Well, they had their opportunity. They just they still got an opportunity, but they had an opportunity there from the 4 minute mark down to the 1.5. They could have had. They lost about 6 points that they could easily had.
McGowan working the inside, has the ball taken away by Harris. Just under 2 minutes to go in this first half of play. Harris working against Welch. Drives in, gives the ball over to Smith. We're going to have a charge foul. Harris picks up his third foul. He and Hensley both had 3 fouls, and that is not going to be good for the Wildcats. Hill in for Harris. 31-17. Good defense by the Mules. Just standing still and in position. Curry to Owens. Owens down to Curry. Welch has it. Someone to throw to. Gets it back to Owens. Welch inside to Walker. Smallest guy on the floor right now. They're going to be called for steps. We've got a timeout on the floor. Coach Botch wants to talk it over with timeout on the floor. We want to tell you this game tonight brought to you by First State Bank and Trust in Dexter. They support high school athletes. And athletics, coaches, cheerleaders, teachers, administrators, and fans have a great 52nd Bloomfield Christmas tournament. That's First State Bank and Trust. Call 624-3919. What do you have for us, Jim?
Well, Bloomfield, as we keep talking about, Bloomfield has got to get this thing down. It would really be an advantage to them if they could get this thing down into single digits. They've had the opportunity. They haven't been successful. They've had some quick, hurried shots and not made them. They have cut their turnovers down. I think they had 7 or 8 in the first quarter. They only got 9 for the game, which has sort of kept them in here. But Bloomfield needs to take advantage of the situation in the last minute and 20 seconds. Get the ball down, get in their offense, get them a good shot, maybe cut it down to 10 for the half.
Bloomfield's got two of their starters with 3 fouls on the bench. Hill has it, gets it to McNeil. McNeil's going to drive, puts it up, scores it. Jacob McNeil, a nice drive. He has 4 in the game. 31-19, 1 minute to go in the first half. Stevens with the ball. He's going to drive, puts it up, will not go. Rebounded by Caldwell of the Wildcats. Wildcats need a bucket. Caldwell out front, gets it to Connor. Connor gets it to Hill. Hill puts it up. He's going to be fouled. Foul is going to be on Owens, and that's going to be his third. To the line to shoot 2 will be Seth Hill. Hill is 1 for 2 from the line. He has 1 point tonight.
Owens sort of bailed the Bloomfield player out. He was off balance, in a hurry. Didn't have a good look at the basket, threw it up. Owens bails him out with a foul.
Hill's first free throw, scores it. Becking in for Owens with 34 seconds to go in this second period of play. McNeil goes out, and in for him is Garrett Rice. Rice is a 5'11 junior. Hill's second one, he scores it.
They've got it down to 10 if they can just play defense here, which they didn't do. But they got a chance to get it under 10.
Got a break as McGowan missed a layup. A great pass by Welch. Boy, that's a lucky save there by Bloomfield as Hill was trapped, was trying to knock it off one of the Bernie players, and it ends up with one of his players, which worked out well. Down to 7 seconds. Hill's going to work. He goes inside, puts it up, scores it. He's got it down to 8. Bernie with the ball. As the horn goes off, the ball's going to be short, and Seth Hill brings the Bloomfield Wildcats back within 8. The halftime score of the Bernie Mules 31, the Bloomfield Wildcats 23. You're watching high school basketball on Y8C TV.
Three Rivers Community College is a great place.
A great place.
A great place to start college.
Why pay university prices?
When the same classes at TRCC cost a lot less.
I can use A+.
I get individual attention.
I'm close to home.
To learn more, go to trcc.edu or call 877-TRY-TRCC.
Get started at TRCC.
Bernie MFA Agri-Service and Fertilizer has been providing top quality products and friendly service to customers and farmers since 1950. We offer seed and crop protection plus variable rate fertilizer applications and variable soil sampling. We strive to be your good neighbor and want to show you. Come by and see us. You'll be glad you did. Bernie MFA Agri-Service is proud to support high school athletics and the youth of our community. Contact us at area code 573-293-5311. Look for the giant MFA sign atop of our grain elevator in downtown Bernie.
The next time you need a metal building, call Roy Owens Construction at 276-3871. Roy Owens Construction has years of experience in metal buildings. Roy Owens Construction is located on Highway 25 North in Malden. Stop by their office today to make your plans for your next metal building. That is Roy Owens Construction Company in Malden.
College is a great place.
A great place.
A great place to start career training.
At TRCC, I'm getting training for a good job with a good salary.
Three Rivers has high-tech equipment.
Great instructors.
And convenient classes. To learn more, go to trcc.edu or call 877-TRY-TRCC.
Get started at TRCC.
The next time you need a metal building, call Roy Owens Construction at 276-3871. Roy Owens Construction has years of experience in metal buildings. Roy Owens Construction is located on Highway 25 North in Malden. Stop by their office today to make your plans for your next metal building. That is Roy Owens Construction Company in Malden.
Bernie MFA Agri-Service and Fertilizer has been providing top quality products and friendly service to customers and farmers since 1950. We offer seed and crop protection plus variable rate fertilizer applications and variable soil sampling. We strive to be your good neighbor and want to show you. Come by and see us. You'll be glad you did. Bernie MFA Agri-Service is proud to support high school athletics and the youth of our community. Contact us at area code 573-293-5311. Look for the giant MFA sign at the top of our grain elevator in downtown Bernie.
Well, the Bernie cheerleaders entertaining the crowd here at halftime of this Bernie Bloomfield basketball game. Great job. I want to tell you this game tonight brought to you in part by First Community Bank in Bernie, where service to their customers is number one. That's First Community Bank in Bernie, phone 293-5316. Jim scoring in the first half for the Bernie Mules. 10 points to Quentin Stevens, 9 to Jake Owens, 4 to Jake Welch, 3 to Jordan McGowan, 2 to Jake Smith, and 1 to Daniel Becking. I think I said Jake Smith earlier. It should have been Jake Owens with 9. Foul-wise, 3 to Jake Owens, 2 each to McGowan and Curry, 1 to Welch, and Jake Smith and Daniel Becking. Three-pointers, Bernie has 3 three-pointers. They're 6 for 11 from the free throw line. For the Bloomfield Wildcats, they're led in scoring by Leighton Hensley with 7 points, 5 to Seth Hill, 4 each to Corey Smith and Jacob McNeil, 2 to Derek Caldwell, 1 to Jacob Connor. They're 9 for 13 from the line, if not connected on a three-point shot. 3 fouls each to their 2 big guys, Blake Harris and Leighton Hensley. 1 each to Seth Hill, 1 to Derek Caldwell, and 1 to Jacob McNeil. I can hardly hear with that music as loud as it is. What do you have for us, Jim?
Well, you said Bernie made three threes, but they attempted 13, which is not a real good percentage. Bloomfield a little bit more interested in driving the ball inside. They only took 3 threes. They didn't make any. The first quarter, when Bloomfield got behind significantly, it was a turnover factor. Bloomfield had 7 turnovers in the first quarter, and Bernie, I think, had 2. But by the time the half rolled around, Bloomfield only had 9. It was up to 9 turnovers, and Bernie had 6 turnovers. So turnovers really make a difference. Bloomfield got back in the game at the end by driving the ball to the hole, getting some good shots inside, and making a couple of free throws there at the end. Obviously, a significant factor was the Bernie big man, Jake Smith, getting his ankle injury. And you take a 6'5" guy out of the middle, it make a big difference. He's not back out on the floor here this half. So when you have to walk and limp around as bad as he did, and now he's coming out hobbling on 1 foot, he's not going to be playing any more tonight. He'll be lucky if he plays any more in the tournament, because those things you just don't recover from them, as you well know, very quickly. It takes several days to get over one. He's trying to put some ice on it, but that's a significant factor. Bloomfield, I kept saying it, they just keep hanging around, and next thing you know, Bloomfield is so well coached that you just hang around and Bernie keeps shooting a lot of threes, and as long as they're shooting the low percentage, Bloomfield can certainly get back in the ball game.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with the start of the second half in just a moment. The next time you need a metal building, call Roy Owens Construction at 276-3871. Roy Owens Construction has years of experience in metal buildings. Roy Owens Construction is located on Highway 25 North in Malden. Stop by their office today to make your plans for your next metal building. That is Roy Owens Construction Company in Malden.
Bernie MFA Agri-Service and Fertilizer has been providing top quality products and friendly service to customers and farmers since 1950. We offer seed and crop protection plus variable rate fertilizer applications and variable soil sampling. We strive to be your good neighbor and want to show you. Come by and see us. You'll be glad you did. Bernie MFA Agri-Service is proud to support high school athletics and the youth of our community. Contact us at area code 573-293-5311. Look for the giant MFA sign at the top of our grain elevator in downtown Bernie.
Three Rivers Community College is a great place.
A great place
A great place to start college or career classes.
Three Rivers affordable tuition.
means Pell Grants go further.
I can use A+.
I got a scholarship.
To learn more, go to trcc.edu or call 877-TRY-TRCC.
Get started at TRCC.
This second half of play brought to you by Three Rivers Community College, James R. Tweedy, attorney at law, First Community Bank in Bernie, MFA Morisoy Seed, Roy Owens Construction, also First State Bank and Trust in Dexter, taxes and more. Again, we want to welcome our viewers to YHC TV, high school basketball. Jim Hall along with Bill Hampton and Kim Stokes on camera tonight. And Jim, we're seeing a good ball game.
A very, very good game. Good high school game, two Stoddard County schools. Bernie pushing the ball up and down the floor, aggressively playing man-to-man defense on the half court, constantly looking for the three-point shot. Bloomfield made a lot of mistakes early against pressure. They got themselves settled down a little bit there late in the second quarter, and they're a little bit more controlled on offense, looking to penetrate, drive, and penetrate. So it's a three-point shooting against drive, penetrate. Team that makes the fewest mistakes is going to come out ahead.
Bloomfield back with their original starting lineup. Bernie in with a couple of changes. Stevens in for Owens, and Becking is in for the injured Smith. Stevens with a drive, scores it. Quentin Stevens with 12 in a game. Bernie back up by 10. 7:30 to go in the third period of play. I want this game to continue going. I just enjoy watching both these teams go at it. Harris penetrating and going to be called for walking. Kind of wondered what he did there, and when he sees it on replay on YHC, he'll understand what he did. Tried to get a pass down to McGowan. The ball goes out of bounds. McGowan's had to go down and work the low post now, and he likes to set up on the perimeter, Jim. He likes to shoot that three-pointer, and he's got a great shot. But since Smith is injured that ankle, he's had to go in and play post. McGowan with a takeaway. Welch down the floor.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers for Bloomfield.
It's Curry, and Curry puts up a shot, can't get it to go. Hensley with it. The ball is slapped out of his hand, but a foul is going to be on Zach Curry. It's going to be his third. Jeremy Walker quickly in for Curry. 7 minutes exactly to go in this third period of play.
Hard for a high school kid not to slap at the ball if it's there in front of you. And on defense, you can accomplish just as much by having your hands up and making them shoot over instead of trying to block the shot.
Hill that time on a drive is going to draw a foul on Jeremy Walker on a push-off there. Wow, nice shot by Hill from the corner for 3.
That's Bloomfield's first 3 of the game.
33-26. Bloomfield back within 7. It's been a long time since they've been that close. You said they've just been hanging around. Welch working against Hill just inside the 3. Scores it. Jake Welch with a nice shot. Bernie in it man-to-man. We're going to have steps called on Hill. 35-26. Bernie on top by 9. Welch working against Hill, gets it to Stevens, goes off his legs, but he gets the ball back. He's going to drive, puts it up. Leaner will not go, but Becky with the rebound. Puts it up, will not go. Rebounded by Welch. Welch puts it up, does not go. He gets another rebound, puts it up, scores it. There's no quit in him, is there?
He got 2 offensive. I know he's got 6 or 7 offensive rebounds. He got 2 right then.
Yep, turnover by the Bearcats, by the Wildcats.
Bloomfield has 4 turnovers. Again, we played not quite 3 minutes this quarter. They've got this just like they started the game. 4 turnovers. They had themselves within 7. Now it's back to 11.
Connor in for McNeil for Bloomfield. Welch working inside, spins it, pass down to Walker. He puts it up, can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, puts it back, scores it. Jeremy Walker stayed with it. 39-26. Bernie back on top by 13. Skip pass to Connor. Over to Harris. Harris inside to Hensley. Hensley puts it up, and we're going to have a foul on Becking. Daniel Becking with his second foul, going to the line to shoot 2. Will be Leighton Hensley.
Bloomfield's got to stop Jake Welch's penetration down the middle. You can't allow anybody in basketball to penetrate the middle. The defense is, you got to keep people out of the middle. You got to keep the ball out of the middle. And Bloomfield's not doing that right now. Welch is penetrating, stopping, shooting a little jumper. Penetrated the last time, dropped a nice pass off for a layup. Got to keep the ball out of the middle.
Caldwell in for Smith for Bloomfield. Owens in for Stevens for Bernie. Second one put up by Hensley, scores it. 39-27, 5:05 to go. McGowan working inside. Ball taken away by Caldwell of Bloomfield. McGowan a little out of control that time. Caldwell kicks the ball out to Hill. Connor down in the corner to Hensley. Hill looks for someone to pass to, decides to drive, gets it to Connor. Down in the corner to Hensley. He drives in, puts it up. We're going to have a charge foul. It's going to be his 4th. Out of control that time, Leighton Hensley. And boy, that happened here within the first half of the third quarter.
That's a 5th turnover for Bloomfield.
Corey Smith in for Hensley. 39-27, 4:39 to go. Write that one down. 4th foul with 4:39 to go in the third quarter on Hensley. That's almost like a turned ankle for Smith, except Hensley can come back the next game. Owens with the ball, has it taken away by Connor. Ball over to Harris. Bernie's gone to a zone. It's like a 2-1-2, Jim.
Yeah.
Owens with the strip that time of Hill. Good defense by Jake Owens. Welch drives down the middle and cannot get the layup to go. Ball out of bounds off of Bloomfield. Bernie will control.
You know, Bloomfield's playing this quarter just like they did the first quarter. They're out of control on offense. They're taking bad shots. They're turning the ball over. They're letting the ball get in deep.
Foul that time on Bloomfield. The foul's going to be on Seth Hill. It's going to be his second, team's second. To the line to shoot 2 will be Jordan McGowan. He has 3 points in the game. Make that 4.
You can sort of see little things coming in basketball. This is a situation right here. If Bloomfield doesn't get it corrected quickly, this game's over. It's going to be a blowout real quick if they don't get things turned around on offense and defense.
Yep. You're talking about the penetration down the middle. What makes makes it go is you can go in, you can stop, you can dish off left, right. There's so many things when you can do when you're in the center of the court.
Dish off down deeper.
Right, that you can't do from the side.
That's right. You got to keep everything turned to the outside if you're going to play good defense. Right. Bloomfield's playing a man defense, but but they're not. They're not. Right here's penetration. See, they got in. They did get that one blocked, but
Caldwell with the block. Bloomfield with the ball. Harris drives, puts it up, scores it. Blake Harris that time with the drive. That's his first 2 of the game. And that's unusual. Harris generally has a sack full by now. Welch working against Hill. Gets the ball to Owens. Owens goes inside, gets it back out to Welch. It's going to be over and back. Out of bounds. Bloomfield will control. In their offensive end, turnover by the Mules. McNeil back in for Connor for Bloomfield. We've got timeout on the floor. With timeout on the floor, we want to tell you this game tonight brought to you by First State Bank and Trust in Dexter. Support our high school athletes, coaches, cheerleaders, teachers, administrators, and fans. Have a great 52nd Bloomfield Christmas tournament. That's First State Bank and Trust. Call 624-3919. Also, taxes and more inside Wethington Tire at 200 North Prairie in Bloomfield. See Tanya M. Wethington for your taxes and bookkeeping. Phone 568-3833. That's taxes and more in Bloomfield. What do you have for us, Jim?
Well, I think that Bloomfield offensively, they're just passing the ball around. Bernie's got in the zone. They're just passing around the outside. I would suggest that they think about, dribble penetrating the gap. Every zone defense has got gaps between 2 players. You don't have to dribble all the way in, but if you just dribble into that gap a little bit, it causes 2 guys to collapse, and then you kick the ball to the open man. And they're just basically passing it around the outside, and they're not breaking the defense down by getting the ball into the gaps on penetration.
Bloomfield in their front court. Hill to McNeil.
See, they're just basically standing around passing it. They got a penetrating pass then.
McNeil put a shot up, missed it, got his own rebound. We're going to have a foul. Foul's going to be on Jeremy Walker. His second. To the line to shoot 2 will be Jacob McNeil. McNeil is 0 for 1 from the line. He has 4 points.
A lot of people think you can't dribble against a zone. Well, you certainly can, and it doesn't take a lot of dribble. Just 2 or 3 little dribbles into that gap cause the defense to collapse, and then you kick the ball and kick the ball to an open man or maybe another quick pass, and you're going to get a good look at the basket. But if you just stand on the outside and pass it, nothing's good going to happen.
Second one by McNeil. It's neither one of them. Owens with the rebound. Curry back in for the Mules for Walker. Owens drives in, does a nice fake. Good pass to Becking. He couldn't hold on. He had Becking right in the hands. Becking
that was an awful good pass.
Very good pass. Turnover on the Mules, 41-29 with 1:59 to go in this third period. Becking out, Stevens in.
Bloomfield went to man-to-man in this third quarter, and Bernie hadn't had a 3-point attempt.
Harris for 3. Will not go. Ball tipped to Welch. Welch quickly down the floor to Stevens. Stevens on the run, off his leg, out of bounds by Bloomfield. 1:38 and counting here in the third quarter play. Bernie 41, Bloomfield 29. Ball kicked out front to Welch. Stevens driving, gets it to Curry. Curry over to Welch. Welch going to drive the baseline, stops for an 8-footer, scores it. Jake Welch, big game for him. He has 6 in the quarter, 10 in the game. And probably had many rebounds and steals.
Oh yeah, he's got a nice jump shot.
Yes, he does.
Gets up high and floats, shoots the ball real good.
Releases at his peak, doesn't he? Harris inside for a 12-footer, scores it. Blake Harris with his second bucket of the quarter. Owens for 3.
First 3 of the quarter.
No good. Curry with the rebound, and he's going to be fouled. Foul is going to be on Corey Smith, his first, team's third of the quarter, of the half. Red Cloud coming in for Harris, or for Corey Smith. Welch runs quickly in the back court and saves it from going out of bounds. 50 seconds to go in this third quarter. Bernie with the ball, 12-point lead. Bernie working their offense. They get the open shot. They're going to take it. Curry inside, puts it up. He's going to be fouled. Foul is going to be on Derek Caldwell, his second. Going the line to shoot two will be Zach Curry. .39 seconds to go. Curry's first shot short. Second one up. Scores it. Bloomfield needs a basket. They trail by 13. They're going to play for one. Bernie content to let them just pass the ball around. Bernie's ahead by 13. Here we go. Bernie goes to a man-to-man. Bernie came out of that zone. Hill with the ball. He's penetrating. Gets the ball to McNeil. McNeil puts up a shot along the baseline, scores it. Jacob McNeil scored with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Stevens with a long shot down the court. I thought it might go. That ends the third quarter of play with the Bernie Mules on top of the Bloomfield Wildcats, 44-33. You're watching high school basketball on YHC TV. Jim, a very fast quarter of play.
Well, at the end of that quarter, Bernie did everything right on defense that you could do and still gave up a basket. They were in a zone and letting Bloomfield hold the ball, and then in the last 8 seconds, they came out in a man-to-man, really pressured them. Bloomfield ended up having to take a not a good shot along the baseline, sort of falling out of bounds, knocked it down. So sometimes everything you do right ends up wrong. But Bernie's defense has been real well this game.
Bernie's offense Bernie's offense is made from their defense.
Well, I think you're right. That's an old standby that good defense creates offense, and it certainly does for Bernie. They played real good man-to-man the first half. They've been playing some zone this half to force Bloomfield a little bit more outside.
Hensley back in for Bloomfield. He missed his shot, but he gets it back on the defensive end. Turnover on the Mules. 44-33, just underway in the fourth period of play. Mules on top of the Wildcats. Been a good ball game. We're going to have a blocking foul on McGowan of the Mules. It's going to be Jordan McGowan's third, team's fifth. Inbounding the ball will be Blake Harris for the Wildcats. Seth Hill puts up one from 12, will not go. Owens with the rebound. Winner of this game will move to the semifinal game of this 52nd Bloomfield Christmas tournament. The loser will then be moving to the bracket to try to come through to play for fifth. Welch gets it down to McGowan. McGowan to Stevens. Stevens, a nice pass down to Owens. Owens gives it to McGowan. And we're going to have a foul on Leighton Hensley. I have him for 5 if it's on Hensley.
That's his fifth.
Okay, now going ahead. Our power just went off, and it came right back on. What were you saying, Jim?
Well, the Bloomfield coach was dissatisfied with that fifth foul on Hensley and made a little comment to one of the officials, and just as the official turned around and made the T sign, the lights went out. I wish they'd have done that for me many a time. Many a time I wish that happened.
Oh, I'm laughing at your comment, okay? Okay, McGowan's to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Scored his first. Now this the regular foul. What was he shooting a while ago? I forgot. When the electricity went off, it got me.
he was in the act of shooting and got
Okay.
fouled, and he's
Now he's going to shoot his 2 technical.
no, he shot the technical.
Okay, now he shoots his regular, and then they get the ball out of bounds. McGowan's 3 for 3, right there from the line. That's tough to do, to make 4 in a row like that. 48-33. Bernie goes up by 15. 6:47 to go in this game. Biggest lead for the Mules. Owens to inbound. Gets it to Stevens. Stevens working against McNeil with that ball. Give the ball to Welch. Ball taken away by Smith. Smith gets it to Harris. Harris drives in, gets it to Smith. Reverse, scores it. We've got timeout on the floor with 6:29 to go. 48-35, Bernie on top. This game tonight brought to you by James R. Tweedy, attorney at law, located on the Courthouse Square in Bloomfield. Phone 568-4000. That's James R. Tweedy, attorney at law. Also, First Community Bank in Bernie, where service to their customers is number one. That's First Community Bank in Bernie. Phone 293-5316. What do you have for us, Jim?
Well, since I've been there, I can relate with Coach Hicks from Bloomfield. He's in a frustrating ball game. It's an important game. Bloomfield Christmas tournament. You're at home crowd. His team really hasn't played as well as he would like for them to play tonight. They not played as well, I'm sure, as they can play, and most things haven't gone well. His leading scorer, best player, playing with 4 fouls. Looks like he gets a clean block down underneath the offensive end for Bernie. The official calls a foul on him. It's his 5th foul. He sits over there and doesn't do anything until the official finally tells him he's got a substitute. And then he says something to the official that I know out of frustration, and then a little bit later he's saying, boy, I wished I hadn't have done that. But it's a frustrating time to be a coach in a situation like this.
It really is. Last technical I got when I was coaching at Clarkton, well, the only place I ever coached. Oh, what a nice pass that time by Owens to Curry. Couldn't connect on it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Happened at your place. And it wasn't me that got it, really said the stuff.
I've heard you tell that story a jillion times, and I think you embellish it every time. And I think if they went back, the technical would have been on you.
That's probably true. Caldwell with the miss that time. Bernie with the rebound. Welch on the drive. He does a reverse, can't get it to go, but McGowan there for the rebound. He sticks it back. Jordan McGowan. 6 1/4, 11 in the game. 50-35. Bernie up by 15 with 5:30 to go in this game. Hill to Harris. Harris to McNeil. McNeil drives, stops, pops, will not go. Rebound by Welch. Welch quickly down to Curry. Curry going to drive, puts one off the board, won't go. Rebound. We got a jump ball. Ball will stay with the Mules. Becking getting ready to check in for Bernie. Coming out will be Stevens. Owens to inbound for the Mules. Welch is coming out. Stevens is going to stay in. Welch going to go for a blow. He needs one. McGowan with the ball. Gets it to Stevens. Owens to Curry. Curry drives, puts it up, scores it. Going to go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Zach Curry now has 5 in the game. He's 1 for 2 from the line tonight. 52-35, 5:05 to go. Bernie just keeps widening it out, Jim.
Yeah, Bloomfield is a little bit frustrated. The last time down the floor, they moved the ball around quite a little bit, finally took a hurried shot. But they're frustrated. And that happens.
Curry now with 6 in the game. Under 5 minutes to go. Bernie up with their biggest lead of 18. Harris for 3, scores it. Blake Harris now has 7 in the game.
Bloomfield that time did what I was talking about earlier, got a little bit of dribble penetration, pitched it to the open man and got an open three.
Stevens had a three and took it inside. Foul going to be called on Derek Caldwell, his third for the Wildcats. Going to the line to shoot two will be Quentin Stevens. Stevens with 12 in the game. It's 2 for 2 from the line. He has 2 3-pointers. Connects on the first. Second one rolls in. Welch in for Stevens for the Mules. (55-38). Mules on top by 17 with 4.5 minutes to go. McNeil working against Owens. Welch with a takeaway. He's going to go down, lay it up, scores it. Jake Welch now with 12 in the game. Rebound, steals, assist, and points.
He's by far
the quadruple double.
He's by far the most valuable player in this game. He's by far the most valuable player.
McNeil penetrates. Foul on the Bernie Mules. Foul's going to be on Daniel Becking, his third. Shooting two will be McNeil. Scores the first one. Stevens in for Owens for the Mules. 3:55 to go, 57-39. Bernie on top by 18. Second one will not go, but goes over to Smith. Smith of the Wildcats gets a ball out to Hill. He drives in, loses control. Bernie picks it up. Stevens has it. He's on the run. Behind the back pass to Curry and could not connect there. Connor in for McNeil. 57-39, 3:41 to go. Owens coming in for Stevens. They had Bernie defense picked it up, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They got out of their zone and went back to the man-to-man that they played the whole first half. They do a nice job. And Welch, if you watch Welch a little bit in the defense, he really gets in the passing lane, and it's difficult difficult to get the ball to his man, and he's always got he gets deflections and got quick hands when they put the ball on the floor. He's got several steals and he's a heck of a defensive player.
Well, if Welch can't get to the ball, a lot of times he deflects the ball. And like you said, he's in the passing lane. He's got a nose for the ball. He knows where it's going to be going most of the time. And he's so quick. He just kind of darts at you one way and goes the other way.
I've watched him a little bit there. He sort of deeks him a little bit in that he acts like Bernie scores, and he acts like he's start down the floor, and then all of a sudden he just jumps back in the passing lane, and he's a heady, smart ball player. You know, he's 5'9", and when you're that size, you have to really be successful. You have to do a lot of these things, and he's a heck of a player.
3:30 to go in this game. 57-39. Bernie on top, 18.
Well, they got in a 1-3-1 now.
Yep, Bloomfield needs to make a run. See if they go to a 2-1-2 offense. Ball down in the corner to Connor. To Harris. Skips it over to Hill. Hill's going to penetrate. Kicks the ball out to Harris. Harris for three. Short. Ball out of bounds. We'll go over to the Mules. 3:10 to go in this contest. Always like that 1-3-1 zone.
I did too.
If you've got the personnel to play it, you got to have a quick guy in the back with a good wingspan. Ball turned over by the Mules. Rice in for Harris for Bloomfield. Hill to inbound. We're going to have a foul against the Mules. It's going to be on Zach Curry. Curry's fourth. The line to shoot a 1-and-1 will be Corey Smith. Jeremy Walker in for McGowan for the Mules. That's going to be Seth Hill to the line, excuse me. Hill has 8 points in the game. He's 3 for 4 from the line. Free throw will not go. Curry with the rebound. Under 3 minutes. Owens with the ball. Gets it to the front court. Gets it to Welch. Welch working against Hill. Boy, he shields his body from that ball, doesn't he, Jim?
Good ball handler.
Yes, he is. Owens dishes off to Walker. Walker scores it. Nice pass that time. Good assist by Jake Owens. 20-point lead by the Mules. Caldwell with a spin. Will not go. We're going to have a foul. Foul is going to be on Daniel Becking, his fourth, and I think we've got
another technical foul on the
coach.
I think this one's on the assistant coach.
Oh, is that who it's on? It's on the bench, let's put it that way.
I think it's on the assistant coach.
Okay, here's the situation. We're going to have a free throw by Corey Smith. First one will not go. So he had a 1-and-1 there. Now the technical foul will be shot by Jordan McGowan. McGowan is 7 for 8 from the free throw line tonight. So we're waiting to see who's going to shoot the free throw. McGowan's not in the game. They're going to see if they're going to let him substitute.
He can substitute on that.
Referee's conferred. Here comes McGowan in to shoot the two-shot technical.
Anybody on the bench can shoot a technical foul. You just have to. He has to stay in the game. I mean, if it was a kid, if you bring somebody off the bench to shoot the technical, they've got to stay in the game until the next stoppage of play after you start from the technical. But you can bring anybody in and shoot the technical.
He misses a second shot. 60-39. Mules on top by 29. Bloomfield is substituting all of their players. Have Wilson, Ledman, Sperino, Bader. I'm missing one of them. Tilley. They're all into the game for Bloomfield. Owens with a drive, gets the ball to Walker. He puts it up, will not go, but the foul going to be on the Bloomfield Wildcats with 1:58 to go. 60-39. Foul is going to be on Brandon Lutman, his first. Jeremy Walker with 4 points in the game. His first free throws coming up. First one good. Second one rolls around, falls in. Daniel Becking coming in for the Mules. Going out is Jeremy Walker. Walker with 6 points. Under 2 minutes to go, Jim. I know Bloomfield's disappointed. They felt like they really had a shot coming into this game. Coach Hicks last night in the post-game show after the South Penn win talked about, they had played them so close so many times last year, and they felt like they really had a shot at it tonight. Bernie just came out, and their defense just took it to them. They have a charge foul on Dylan Bader.
Yeah, very few things have gone right for Bloomfield tonight. They've missed some shots. I think that if the Bloomfield coach Coach Hicks looks at the tape, he's going to be dissatisfied with their shot selection. They didn't take good shots most of the night, and some of that's attributable to Burning's defense. You got to give credit to Burning's defense. And that right there, of course, Bloomfield has had their substitutes in, but the other thing, Burning's been able to all game been able to penetrate the middle, which creates good shots.
Allen, Walker, and Stevens in for Bernie. Owens with a steal. It's going to be out of bounds. 1 minute exactly to go. Coming in for Bernie will be Nathan Lane. Also Justin Cook. And Reagan Williams.
You know something, the first half, 8-point half, Bernie had taken 13 threes. Second half, they attempted 1 3 and stretched it from 8 to about 25.
Red Cloud with the shot, scores it for I think it was Bader that made that shot. I couldn't read the 3 on the shirt. I hope I gave it to the right one.
Give it to him.
64-41. Walker inside, and he's going to be called for steps as he slips and falls down. 22 and a half seconds to go, 64-41. Still a good ball game. Enjoyed watching it. Both teams really got after it.
Yeah, it was a good ball game to about the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And Bernie really stretched it out.
Rebound that time by Brandon Lutman, and he's going to be fouled, go to the line with 9 seconds to go. Lutman to shoot 2. He's a 6-foot junior. Foul was on Williams, his first. Free throw will not go. 64-41. Bernie Mules are going to move on. And again, they will play the winner, the Dexter Puxico game. Rebound that time by Cook. This game is going to end with the Bernie Mules winning 64-41 over the Bloomfield Wildcats. Jim, give us what you thought about the game.
Well, mostly I'd be repeating basic things we've emphasized during the game, but again, the Welch kid for Bernie, just really, really fine player, creates so much for Bernie. I was surprised that the fact that Jake Smith, the big guy, only played about the first 3 or 4 minutes of the first quarter or so. I'm surprised that didn't affect the game more than it did, but the 6'5" kid being out didn't make that big effect. But the fact that Bloomfield didn't accomplish offensively what they wanted to do during the game, they didn't shoot well, and the fact that Bernie penetrated the second half and pushed the ball inside, and most of their shots in the second half were in close, and that 2 points sometimes it's not as thrilling as the 3-pointer, but more of them go in from high percentage inside than from outside, and that 2-point. You make enough of those 2-pointers, it may really adds up, and that's what Bernie did. They got the ball inside and created easy shots. They penetrated, pitched it on in deeper to the low post. Defensively, Bernie worked awfully hard on defense, played man most of the game, and really got after Bloomfield on defense.
Well, I tell you what, Bernie's defense held the Bloomfield Wildcats to 41 points, and that says a lot for their defense. Let's give the scoring right quick. And it went like this for the Bernie Mules with 14 points, Quentin Stevens, 12 each to Jake Welch and to Jordan McGowan, 9 to Jake Owens, 8 to Jeremy Walker, 6 to Zach Curry, 2 to Daniel Becking, and 2 to Jake Smith, 1 to Daniel Becking. Bernie was 19 for 26 from the free throw line. And you've already touched on the three-pointers. On the Bloomfield side, scoring very balanced. Nobody stuck out, with a tremendous scoring night. You had 8 to Seth Hill, 8 to Leighton Hensley, 7 to Blake Harris, 7 to Jacob McNeil, 6 to Corey Smith, 2 each to Dylan Bader and Derek Caldwell, 1 to Jacob Connor. And again, I hope I got Dylan Bader correct on that 2 points. Bloomfield only 11 for 21 from the free throw line unofficially. And they had 1 3-pointer in the second half. And that's the only 3-pointer that they made.
I think they only took 6 for the game and made the 1. Bernie, as I said, the first half, they took 13 and made 3. The second half, they only took 1 and didn't make it. But they still stretched the lead out.
Well, Bernie Mules will now face the winner of the next game, which will be Puxico and Dexter. And we just want to tell you this game tonight has been brought to you by Three Rivers Community College, also James R. Tweedy, attorney at law, taxes and more, First State Bank and Trust in Dexter, also MFA, Morrissey Seed, Roy Owens Construction, and First Community Bank in Bernie. Jim Hall, pleasure to calling a game with you. Enjoyed that, learned a lot. And Kim Stokes on the camera. Hope you folks at home enjoyed it as much as we did bring it to you. I'm Bill Hampton. If you're out and about on the roadways, we ask you to put those seatbelts on. We want to see you at a high school game in the near future. And don't forget, live today, learn from yesterday, look forward to tomorrow.
Coaches Interviews brought to you by Charlie Flanagan, Edward Jones Financial Advisor in Dexter, and Missouri State Representative Rob Mayer of the 25th District, and Missouri Southern Healthcare, located in Dexter.
Hi, I'm Charlie Flanagan with Edward Jones Investments, and I'm sitting here with Dustin Hicks, the head basketball coach for the Bloomfield Wildcats. And they just came up on the short end of the stick tonight against Bernie. Final score was 64-41. Coach, I thought you guys played really well, especially for about 3/4 of the game, and then things got away from you just a little bit.
Right, we entered the fourth quarter down 11. Still didn't feel like we were playing good basketball. We weren't executing very well. That was kind of a tribute to Bernie's defense. They've really picked up that end of the court this season. We didn't stay very composed and get into our offense, and then had a very lack of composure there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned Bernie's defense. I thought they really got after you right from the get-go, and late in the game really kind of wore you down.
They really did. They set the tone. They got up full court man. Probably wasn't exactly what we were expecting them to do, and they did a good job of it. Our boys, again, we're still a little bit green when it comes to handling the basketball. With a sophomore point guard, he got a little rattled a bit. Hopefully we'll learn from him and be better next time we play him.
Well, sophomore or senior, I think with the pressure he was facing, anybody would have gotten rattled.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the keys that I thought of the game was the job they did on the Hensley boy.
They really did. They did a great job on Leighton. They were double teaming Leighton. We tried to make some adjustments at halftime to try to use that against him, try to have Leighton catch and read. But again, we struggled getting the ball into him. He had trouble getting position. They were working hard to front him, but we just wasn't really able to use it against them. They rotated well out of their double teams and out of their traps, and really just had us confused most of the night.
And I thought, kind of going along with Leighton, he got in foul trouble.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult for him to operate then after that.
We go into the half, I think we're down 8, and with Hensley and Harris sitting, a large majority of that, probably about 8 minutes apiece from both of them. So for them to miss that much and be down 8, we thought we really were going to be in an okay position coming in the second half, but just never really could find a rhythm out there.
Yeah, and 8 points at halftime, quite honestly, it could have been a 2-point ball game because I think you guys missed about 3 layups early on, and again, you've got to credit Bernie. Their defense was right there kind of intimidating the shot, but could have even been a closer game.
Right, Bernie contested our shots well. It's shots that we make the night before against South Pim in similar situations. But if you're going to knock off the #1 seed, you can't miss the Bunnies. You got to go in there, you got to knock those in and be able to set your defense up a little better. It also slows down their transition game a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assessment. Well, what's up for you guys next now?
We got the loser of this Dexter-Puxico game here. Played Puxico once already, first game of the season. We beat them early on. Not real familiar with Dexter. They've been playing a lot of SEMO conference here at the start of the year. Haven't had an opportunity to see them. I'll go out here and try to watch this. And try to come back Monday and put on a little better performance than we did here tonight.
Well, good job tonight. Came up a little bit short, but I'm sure you guys will improve throughout the tournament.
That's right. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Coaches Interviews brought to you by Charlie Flanagan, Edward Jones Financial Advisor in Dexter, and Missouri State Representative Rob Mayer of the 25th District, and Missouri Southern Healthcare, located in Dexter.
Hi, I'm Charlie Flanagan with Edward Jones Investments, and I'm visiting with Brad Botch, the head basketball coach of the Bernie Mules, and they've just defeated the Bloomfield Wildcats 64-41. Coach, key to the game, in my opinion, was your defensive pressure. I thought you guys really came out, and they never were able to adjust to the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, we emphasized our kids really to take pride defensively, and I thought tonight, right from the get-go, our man was very solid, and we got some buckets offensively to go against that, and you know, I think you know, when the kids really buy in and take pride playing defense, I think it you know, they feed off of that, and they feed off of themselves out there, you know, guarding, and it's just kind of a mano-y-mano, we're gonna try to stop you. Yeah. And you know, it's frustrating to the other team, you know, when you feel like that you're really being guarded well and you can't get anything accomplished.
You know, if you've got talent on a team, you can be a good team without playing great defense, but you can't be a great team without playing great defense. And defense in every sport's what wins championships.
Right. No doubt about it. That's what we've preached from day one, and we're a more mature, stronger team this year. We still haven't. You know, I thought offensively tonight we were okay. I mean, we weren't great. We still missed some shots that we would like to make, but you know, defensively, for the most part, probably 90 to 95% of the game, we played pretty solid. There was a stretch there where I wasn't real happy with the way we played, but you know, we you know, overall we ended up getting the job done, and it came from the defensive end.
Yeah. End of the second quarter, they draw to within 8. And my guess is that's the stretch you're talking about.
Yeah, we weren't happy at halftime, and the kids, you know, the kids weren't happy either. You know, we didn't feel like we guarded real well in that stretch, and it could have been because we were tired. You know, the Smith kid went down, and we had some kids in foul trouble. We had some kids on the floor for an extended period, and when you guard and pressure defense, you're going to get tired, and sometimes your defense is going to suffer a little bit. And you know, but you know, we could have done a little bit better job in that stretch.
Well, as I kind of assessed the game before it got started, I really felt like you were obviously the better team. But for Bloomfield to defeat you, I thought they would have to do a really good job of getting the ball to Hensley. And I thought they would maybe need to get you and, you know, have something happen that would be unusual for you, like foul trouble, injuries, that type of thing. And I thought they'd need to shoot the ball really well. The injury occurred, foul trouble occurred, but none of the other things happened, and you guys came out on top.
Yeah, and we stepped up. You know, some of the other kids stepped up, and that's what I told them after the game tonight. If you guys want to win tomorrow, you're really going to have to step up with Jake out. And, you know, his foot is probably broken, and, you know, he's going to be out for a while. So these other guys are going to have to step up, and we're going to have to show how deep we are.
Yeah.
You know, these other kids are going to get an opportunity, and, you know, and you just got to rise to the occasion. You got to rise up, and you know, for the most part, you know, those things that happen, injuries and the foul trouble that happened, we were able to play through that. You know, we had that stretch where we didn't feel like we played well, but overall, for the most part, I thought we did a good job playing through that.
Yeah, you know, looking at Jake's injury, excuse me, looking at Jake's injury, you know, you just hate it for him. You know, number one, you know, Jake's worked so hard for a number of years to get to this level, and you know, he's a good kid. I know my son played with him last summer over at the AAU program in Poplar Bluff, and you know, you just hate it for him, and I know it's going to make it more difficult, you know, the rest of the way for you guys.
Yeah, one of the hardest working kids I've ever coached, if not the hardest. He's just in the gym an hour and a half before we ever start practice. Yeah. He wants to be there, wants to be good, works a lot. Great kid, great attitude. And what he doesn't get enough praise for is his defense. He is a great defender. He may be one of the best defenders in this tournament. And you know, you can put him on somebody and you can pretty well say that guy's not going to score a whole lot that game, because he is just a good defender. And his injury is gonna leave a mark, but these other kids have got to realize that when a teammate falls, they've got to rise up and pick it up and say that's not going to be an excuse. We're going to fight through it and get it done.
Well, you're the number one seed. You're through the first 2 days now, so you're where you wanted to be. Maybe not with the personnel that you wanted, but you're certainly where you want to be. And we'll be looking forward to seeing how you fare the rest of the tournament.
You've got to prepare for everybody like it's the championship night. We prepared for Bloomfield like they were, we were playing the state championship game, because it's just as important. You survive in advance, and if you look past anybody, if you don't prepare equally as hard for the next team in front of you, you get knocked off. It's too much parity, and we're not a whole lot better than anybody else, and we've got to make sure we do what it takes to win games, and we'll try to get our guys prepared for Monday night.
Well, we look forward to seeing you Monday night. That's Brad Botch from the Bernie Mules.